Have you ever contemplated what mysteries are encased within the desert's seemingly endless expanse? Confinement beneath these captivating sun-kissed dunes are enigmas as old as time itself, secrets that yearn for revelation, narratives yet to be narrated. The sight of the ever-moving sands, a panorama seemingly untouched and unadulterated, is but an illusion, for the desert enjoys the game of hide and seek. The golden grains, tirelessly molded by the persistent desert winds, open up to an undulating ocean of enigmatic possibilities. This desert isn't just a barren wasteland, it's a cache of forgotten history and civilizations, untouched and unaltered by the ceaseless march of time. In the pulsating core of this golden ocean, archaeologists have come upon a discovery that could dramatically alter the course of history. An ancient tomb, unseen by human gaze, untouched by human fingers for countless eons, a relic of a bygone era frozen in the sands of time. The team's hearts are aflutter with anticipation, their breaths catching in their throats as they unlatch the gates of yesteryears. The tomb, adorned with strange symbols and ominous signs, rises from the sands like a phoenix, its grandeur unmarred by the relentless passage of time. As the stirring dust settles and the first rays of the morning sun pierce the tomb's entrance, the air bristles with an eerie anticipation. It's not an everyday occurrence to find yourself in the core of an archaeological bonanza. Their faces glow with delight, their hearts pulsing with adrenaline. They believe they have unearthed the discovery of the century, a find that could dramatically our understanding of history. Yet as they delve deeper into the tomb's mysterious abyss, unearthing more cryptic symbols, everything takes a turn. What was once euphoria quickly fades into a bone-chilling fear, a sense of impending doom that envelops them like a shroud. The shadows stretch out, the air grows colder, and an unsettling sense of unease permeates the atmosphere. As they venture further, a realization as chilling as the tomb's cold stones dawns on them. Little did they know the undeciphered symbols and ignored omens were warnings. They had just awakened something far beyond their comprehension. The tomb, untouched by time, harbored the enigmatic chronicles of a long-vanished pharaoh. Its entrance, meticulously positioned, served as a portal to a realm shrouded in centuries-old silence. Icy, musty air hung thick with a profound sense of timelessness, a poignant testament to its millennia of solitude. A palpable taste of history lingered, the fine dust whispering the pharaoh's enigmatic tale of eternal rest. The echoes of a bygone epoch pervaded the stagnant air, creating an eerie atmosphere, a chilling reminder of the crypt's ancient origins. The walls of this dormant palace, hewn from the mountain's heart, whispered tales that teetered on the brink of myth and reality. They spoke of a sovereign whose radiance rivaled the sun, whose wisdom mirrored the depth of the expansive Nile, whose affluence challenged the god's own treasury. These sagas were intricately woven into the stone in an archaic language, hieroglyphs. These symbols, a combination of art and language, were a primitive yet sophisticated method of communication, providing a profound insight into the sophisticated civilization that birthed it. Each hieroglyph was a cryptic lore unto itself, their true meanings lost in sands of time, their silent testimony to the grandeur of the ancient civilization adding to the mystique. Their torches' dim illumination danced upon the stone walls, casting quaking shadows and creating a captivating interplay of illumination and darkness. The tremulous radiance reflected off scattered gold artifacts and gemstones, which had remained undisturbed for millennia. Their beauty, though breathtaking, concealed a sinister purpose beneath their gleaming surfaces. Each piece, a monument to the pharaoh's influence and the era's skilled craftsmen, was imbued with an ominous darkness, as unknowable as the depths of the Nile. Ignoring the emphatic warnings of local villagers about vengeful spirits reputed to guard the tomb, the intrepid team of archaeologists pressed on, their insatiable curiosity and the exhilarating rush of potential discovery overpowering the disquieting forewarnings. They were scholars, cynics who dismissed superstitions as folklore. Even so, as they stood awestruck in the tomb's majesty, a sense of creeping dread began to seep into their consciousness. With mounting, they ventured further into the abyss, their path lit only by the flickering flames of their torches. The tomb, a monstrous beast, seemed to consume the sound of their laborious movements. The enclosing darkness felt alive, almost sentient, as if it was closing in on them, its cold embrace intensifying their fear. They were blissfully unaware of the impending doom, their naivety becoming their own worst enemy. Deep within the catacombs of the tomb, a confined, unknown chamber was unearthed. The archaeologists, after weeks of grueling, back-breaking labor, stumbled upon a hidden treasure that sent an electrifying shiver of anticipation through their sweat-soaked bodies. They had unearthed a hermetically sealed chamber, a cryptic enclave shrouded in mystery, hidden deep within the labyrinthine depths of the ancient tomb. Their hearts pounded like tribal drums, the rhythm of their excitement mixed with a creeping undertone of fear. They had heard the tales of ancient Egypt, the whispered rumors of curses and divine retribution that was said to befall those who dared to disturb the sanctified sleep of the pharaohs. Yet the intoxicating allure of the unknown, the insatiable curiosity that blazed like a wildfire in their souls, overpowered their trepidation. As they began to rupture the ancient seal, the tomb seemed to convulse with a kind of supernatural life force. The air around them grew dense, the tomb's very breath holding itself in 1,000-year suspense. The seal submitted with an almost sentient sigh, a gentle whisper of stale air that had been trapped inside its confines for millennia. The profound silence of the tomb was shattered. A gust of primordial air, untouched by sunlight for eons, rushed out from the chamber, shrouding them in a chill that transcended the physical, immersing their senses in the spectral frost of the past. It felt as though they had been knocked over by a formidable wave of history, a torrent carrying the murmurs of an ancient, forgotten civilization. The quiet was replaced with a bone-chilling desolation that clung to the air like an ethereal shroud. Suddenly, spectral apparitions began to materialize. Their modern equipment started to fail. Lights flickered as if in a Morse code of the damned. Cameras malfunctioned, capturing ghastly figures on their screens, and the complex machinery designed to preserve and document the tomb began to stutter and die. Ghostly whispers echoed ominously in the chamber, each sound a spectral reminder of the tomb's age-old slumber, echoing a haunting requiem of a time long vanished. A sense of abhorrent unease slithered around them, wrapping around their bodies like a spectral serpent, squeezing their hearts in a vice of dread. It was an unsettling premonition of doom, a sensation that gnawed at their courage, a tingling at the nape of their necks that warned them of a malevolent presence. The chilling whispers grew louder, the spectral apparitions more tangible. They had unwittingly unleashed the ancient curse of the pharaoh. As darkness descended, the true terror started to unfold. The night seemed to don an impenetrable black cloak, shrouding the world in an aura of dread and uncertainty that was almost palpable. An icy dread wove its way into the hearts of the archaeologists, sending a ripple of shivers down their spines as the moonlight cast monstrous shadows around their makeshift camp. The dreams, once brimming with the euphoria of uncovering the layers of ancient history and the thrill of unearthing artifacts, were now haunted by spectral pharaohs. Their sleep was disturbed by horrifying visions of ghastly apparitions and blood-chilling nightmares, as if they were receiving warnings against the sacrilege they were on the brink of committing. One by one, the archaeologists began to crumble, not to the biting cold of the desert nights or the grueling nature of their work, but to a series of mysterious accidents that were too eerie to be dismissed as mere unfortunate circumstances. Their bodies were racked by inexplicable maladies, ailments that the most skilled and experienced among them couldn't diagnose, let alone treat. It was as if they were being punished, falling prey to a potent curse, believed to be the divine safeguard of the pharaohs in their eternal repose. The once serene desert turned hostile, its winds carrying ominous threats that echoed forebodings of doom across the vast expanse, delivering dire warnings to the audacious intruders daring to violate the sacred antiquity. The sands, which once seemed welcoming with their golden allure, were now concealing fatal traps, swallowing their tools and constantly menacing to engulf them next. Every dune seemed to twist and turn, camouflaging the path they once, the stars, their sole guiding lights in the wilderness, seemed to extinguish one by one, leaving them lost in the boundless sea of sand. The archaeologists started to vanish, devoured by the voracious desert which seemed to pulse with the spirits of the ancients. The hours turned into days, and one by one their numbers dwindled until the last of the archaeologists, a seasoned explorer with a heart full of courage, stood alone. He was swallowed by a monstrous sandstorm, his screams echoing in the chilling winds, and then, abruptly silenced. His footprints and existence were wiped clean by the unyielding sands, leaving behind an unsettling tranquility. As the silence reigned supreme over the vast expanse, one question lingered in the air. What became of those who dared to disturb the pharaoh's eternal slumber?